When discussing World War II, much is said about heroism, great battles, great evil, and even the machinery that drove the war. But little is said about those caught in the middle. People who, by no fault or action of their own, were subject to the great hardships of war. Herman Walka was born 4 months into Germany's annexation of Czechoslovakia, breaking his family apart and leading to his people's expulsion from their homeland into the country that started the conflict in the first place. Despite facing discrimination for being an outsider, he would go on to be a successful architect and engineer in Germany before moving his family to the United States in the 80s. Herman's story of triumph over extreme hardships can be seen as an inspiration for all of us, and I hope you will join me as we meet Herman Walka.
Like a tunnel in the mountain across the street from our ranch. And this was the only thing that was there, and our ranch was all bulldozed down and leveled. And it's like, yeah.
That was all that was left.
Yeah, this was left, and I went to the area.
Am I moving this a little closer to you? Yeah, there you go.
Then I went in Austria to the area, was like in the refugee camp, practically by myself, because my dad was picked up from Germany and made by force a German soldier. Mm-hmm. And my mom, on the way up there, she got typhus fever. I was separated for several months. So I was a 5-year-old among strange people in a foreign country, living on the floor, barely something to eat, just one set of clothes. And then I survived the time, even the winter time. Never get sick, never get cold. And I was the only one believing that my mom is gonna be back, and she came back after 4 months. So, and then.
Where did you end up going? And I'm sorry, and I missed that part of the story. Your mom had gotten typhus, and your father was
by force a German soldier.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of things before, and so I remember the time where the World War II was over our head, where I got under fire, and the closest bullet I was feeling was across my hair. Mm. So, and just diving and going in the shelter. Yes, everything that moved and was a target by the airplanes. All the supply lines, anything movement was target. It was clear because Germany was very aggressive, did a lot of damage in Europe. They killed so many people, but I was kind of surviving. Even a week with no food, I didn't even get hungry. Yeah. So, and then in this refugee camp, there was just so many people just fell over dead. Yes, about 2 million of my neighbors from this area, from this country, they died, and it's just starvation or sickness or just exhausted, and just a small portion survived us. When suddenly, in the winter time, in the February, early March, in Austria, it's still winter time in the mountains. Mm. There came a big tank with a snowplow and found us. And the first thing what the American did, picked up all the children, including me. I got a jacket, I got a pair of shoes, and something to eat.
Yeah.
And then it took a while till they find a way to get us out from there, or where to get us. And it took about 3 weeks by train to go to Western Germany. Mm-hmm. So by train, because you have to patch up the tracks, you have to make detours, you have to wait, something gets fixed. And So I was sitting in like a cargo train wagon. In there was no window, nothing. So in there and getting up to Germany. Yeah.
Pretty cold, huh?
And then it was kind of bad. I never got scared. I never even little till today. I never get scared of anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that was just because you had so much trauma early on, or that you were used to it, or?
Yeah, like that was a good Christian community, and a lot of people prayed for each other and take care of each other. There was no fear because we have known there's always somebody praying for you, and then there comes no fear because fear is not from your beliefs. So then as we came finally to Germany, and the German people were very prejudiced. They didn't want us. Said, we don't want to hear. They called us all kind of names, and so and even I was just turned 6 years before, and we're living in a rattle, get like a little in a butcher shop. We got like the area where they slaughter the pigs in a little corner, just sleeping, but no bed and no pillow, no blanket, no nothing. Yeah. So then there were several people up there. They brought us, gave us things, gave us some extra set of clothes or like a pillow or a pot to cook something.
Yeah.
And then we started to be like collectors. Yeah, it was like with 6 years or 6.5 years, I was going out to the meadows, in the woods, and look for something to eat, some nuts and some roots, some plants or whatever.
Just
bring it
foraging.
home. Yeah, bring it home, and so we have something to eat. And then it just gets so deep in my head. The only thing to get out of those is learn something. And that's what I did because it's what I was in. Can you imagine you're in first grade, second grade, third grade? We didn't have a book. We didn't have a paper to write on. That's the only thing we had was like a slate table, a little slate board, and a slate pencil. On the one side was writing, the other side was math. So you do your thing and show it to the teacher and then wipe it out. So nothing to like for a record.
Yeah.
So the thing was to remember by heart. Yeah, everything I remember by heart.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just memorize.
Math formulas and all this, I remember by heart. And because I was doing so much on the side to survive, I was like an average student all the time. And then the last year or two, my dad came back. So he was a prisoner of war in France. And the International Red Cross found him. And they found us because we're so many miles away from home.
Yeah.
And from this day forward, it's getting better.
Yeah.
So then as a graduate, went for an apprentice. Apprentice is like you work for a company. This time was like 25 hours a week you work for the company, and 25 hours, full 25 hours a week is school.
Yeah.
And that's over 3 years. And there's a lot of side work. You have to do a log. You have to do every few weeks. You have to do a heavy test. And after 3 years, you get the certificate.
So what were you apprenticing for?
It was in construction and carpenter. Yeah. It was the only thing I could find.
Yeah.
There was nothing there. But my boss was an architect. Yeah, and we get with so much connection with construction. So I learned so many things. So it gives me then the knowledge to build a house for my parents, to do the design, do everything from the foundation to the roof to the wallpaper, everything. We did it with our own hand.
Yeah.
So, and the thing was like pennies, really pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what age? Because I'm trying to.
I was 19 as a graduate.
19. And what time did your father come back?
1948.
So
1948.
How old? Because I believe you said you were.
I was 9 years old.
9 years old, and so he got forcibly drafted when you were 1.5 or something, right? Like
I was not even born.
You weren't even born yet, and yeah. So
not even born. When he came back one time, I was 1 year old, but I didn't remember to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was the baby.
Because you're 1 year old.
The baby.
Yeah.
And as he came back to this town, he walked in the town. Okay, we should live here. There was no phone to call or something.
Yeah.
So he asked a girl on the street if she know me or if she know us, and says, "Oh yeah, no," and I'm right here in this school. He was right in front of the school.
Yeah,
he's right here. You want me to go in and ask if he can come out? So the girl come in, talk to the teacher, and the teacher said, "Hey, come on, go home for now. Outside is your dad."
Yeah. So did y'all have any idea whether or not he was alive at that time?
We got a message on February 2nd, 1948. He's alive.
Yeah.
And they tried to get him out. He was a prisoner of war in southern France, near Bordeaux. Biarritz, actually. I was driving up there one time and looked where he was, and you couldn't walk home. It's just, everything is like so far away.
Yeah.
And after he was home, just getting things going.
Yeah. I mean, that'd have to be hard, not knowing him at all. And
yeah, he didn't know me.
Yeah.
I didn't know him. Yeah. So it took, that didn't take long, because I had a lot of things from him. Yeah. Even as how I walk and how I hold my hands and all this.
Yeah, just.
And then he was very, very intelligent. We just did a lot of things together.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, building us a house. And then after they had a house, I switched jobs. And after like 2 years after the graduate from the apprentice, I switched job in engineering office. Had a big factory. On the side, there was like a prefab concrete company.
Kind of.
And since I had this apprentice, I was able to do like engineering work.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, I was like 22 years old. I designed all those.
You designed all this?
Yeah, this one, bridges, factories, shopping center. Yeah.
So what year would have that been made? Would that have been 60s?
1962.
62. So you said y'all ended up in Germany. What was Germany like after World War II?
In ashes.
Yeah.
85% of the housing were destroyed. That's why we live in a rat hole.
Yeah.
And just there was no heating, there was no no running water, there was no bathroom, there was nothing. There was an outhouse somewhere in the back. It's used by 25 people in the neighborhood. And this was sure like a motivation to get things done.
Yeah.
So
how long before things started getting to semblance of normal, I suppose?
In 1948 and in fall, there was all the German money was useless, and they had the Deutschmark. And after the Deutschmark, it became kind of better. You could get something. Yeah, you could buy something if you had money. Before, for money you couldn't buy anything.
Yeah,
with money. Yeah. So
with
a package of cigarette was feeding a family of 6, like us, for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just
a Flintstone.
bartering.
A Flintstone, or little things. Yeah, it was like a diamond. So to get things for this.
Yeah.
So, and then, working, because there was, I think in World War II, 50 million people got killed.
Mm.
And there, in every other house was a widow lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were no men. And then women start working. They're cleaning up the bricks. And amazingly, like in the city, the Broadway, the big Broadway, where there's like 4 lanes streetcars in the middle and all this. There was a walkway like 2 feet wide. The rest was rubble, like a canyon.
Yeah.
Out of the city.
And that was the only path going through within 5 years, so much rebuilt. And this came for me, being in the construction, was a good experience. Yeah.
So
you weren't out of a job, right?
No, not out of a job.
Yeah.
The many things. And there was a lot of hands-on. There was not the computer.
Yeah.
There was no calculator. There was everything in pencil and paper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like all calculated. The engineering, the structural design, the static computation was all done with pencil and paper on your formula you have in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and just drafting it all out by hand.
Drafting it all by hand. Drafting it, and there's everything. Like every outlet, it was a sewer pipe, every water pipe, everything needed to be in there. All that. And this is because it's concrete. You have to have it built in right away, otherwise it wouldn't work. You know?
Yeah.
So because of my apprentice, I got this job, and I was within a year and a half. I was up in management, making quite good money, but I just want to go further. I want to get my engineering degree, and this apprentice was like a ticket for the engineering degree, and the test to be accepted in the university was like a final test in the university. I had to do so many answers, because there was like the 18 professors sitting around me and shooting questions on me for 2 hours.
No pressure, right?
2 hours.
Yeah.
Because they want to make sure. I know they didn't want to waste the money to get somebody in the class who doesn't have any clue what's construction.
Yeah. So you did you go to that before you started designing the buildings, or?
I designed this years before I went to university.
Yeah.
Years before.
Yeah. So what did you do after university then?
So I graduated in the university in Frankfurt in Germany. There were 54 students in the first semester. There were 7 in the last semester, and 5 graduated.
Yeah.
Because it's made so tough. Yeah. And I came home to my house, I had 15 job offers on my desk. Because they've known if you have your apprentice, when you have graduate and things, you're the right person for whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So were you in Western Germany?
Western Germany.
Yeah.
In the French border.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the northern end of the Black Forest. A nice area in the River Rhine Valley. Yeah, was really nice area. A lot of mosquitoes, but it was nice.
You'll take the mosquitoes for the view, right?
Yeah.
So where does your life go from there then?
No, short after I graduated, I've had all this. With this company, I had so much experience. And I got approached to be a partner in an engineering office because I was an engineer, and the guy approached me was not an engineer, but he was in sales.
Yeah.
And he needed an engineer to produce whatever. And what we did for quite a while. Designing machines to produce all this, for highway bridges, for the shopping center, produce the machines to produce this, the concrete elements. Yeah.
Are you talking about like a mobile machine or like something that casts
like for casting?
Yeah.
For casting like huge elements. Yeah, very complicated elements.
So it's for casting the structural.
Yeah, for the structure, for the
all
the elements, the pillars, or the beams, and when you see it like going to highways, you see the bridge over, and there's like an I-beam of made from concrete. This is all pre-stressed concrete. Mm-hmm. All these machines do all those. It's the design.
So you designed
I did this for 15 years. Made tremendous money on those because it was like 15-hour day every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one day I got assessed. And this had to make too much money because the assessor was a neighbor of me. Because then I was living in a nice house and driving an S-Class Mercedes and so. And then he checked out everything, couldn't find anything, and then in the end said, "Oh, I saw you driving to church with your S-Class Mercedes." Church was like 200 yards up my street.
Yeah.
And I had to pay an extra 5,000 taxes because he said I'm driving up there with a company car. And it was like the trigger.
Yeah.
That's it. Because so many times I got in my face, you don't fit here, you should go where you come from, and all this thing. And
so you still dealt with those prejudices?
Prejudice, yeah.
Yeah.
And even as I left, I got told from people to become kind of friends, they said, "I'm glad you go, because you got just accepted. You have a college degree, you live in a big house, and drive a Mercedes." That's why I got accepted. I know this is usually a European or German deal. But this extra $5,000, it was the trigger. Mm-hmm. So, and I put everything online to go away from Germany, make the contacts to America. One day we packed up all our stuff, sold all our properties, what we had, and moved to America. It was January 23rd, 1988.
So were you? I'm guessing you were married and had kids at this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did they think about that?
Right away.
They were for it?
Right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a month's vacation and traveled to America. We were from Bangor, Maine to so many places. And we visit somebody in East Texas, not far from Tyler.
Yeah.
We have known for many years. And I thought, this is a nice place. And we picked Tyler and went home and got everything ready and loaded up everything and moved over here.
Yeah.
So it took several years to get our residency. We had to leave the country over 6 months to renew our visa.
Mm-hmm.
And we could live here. I just couldn't work. I didn't have to work. I could have retired if I want to.
Yeah.
But I'm not the type to retire and do nothing. So
yeah, I was gonna say you seem like one of those guys who just keeps going.
Yeah. Yes. This is I couldn't say I'll play golf or go fishing. So I go play golf, once a year. That's fine. But I wouldn't live for golf. I wouldn't live for going to the football game or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I have other things. I like to go to the opera. I like to go hiking. I go to traveling, and so
yeah.
So that, when I like to take care of people in need. Back in Germany, if somebody would have lost the house if I was not there, somebody would never went to college if I didn't know the people, how to get them in. So this is even here. I got so many things, and I know if somebody's in need, even if just give them a hug or give them a heads up or something. Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from for you? Is it from having nothing before, or?
That is when you learn something good, very intense, learn something. It is fun to use your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun to use the knowledge. I'm the oldest in the company by far. Nobody from our 70 people in the company I'm working can do what I can do. Because it's just a lack of an education and the volume of education. And so doing troubleshooting or getting an idea how to do something is just so lost there. I trained one young man many years back and trained him good. It was like a boot camp for him. I trained him so good.
Yeah.
He's meanwhile the best and the closest to do what I do. Yeah. I want to hire high school graduate. You go to college, you can.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to college and you want to make some money on the side. I give you a job. Graduate from high school. Couldn't do basic math.
Yeah.
Basic math, it means what is 2 times 2? He had no clue. I said, you graduate from high school? Yeah, I graduated from high school. So you can graduate if you cannot even read and write and do math. So I was good in football. Graduate. It's like in Europe or Asia or somewhere, it's totally impossible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sport is separated. This is in your spare time you do this. But education is always really tough to go through. But if you go through, and a tough education is like going a rocky street. Really rocky street with thorns and spikes and all this. But after this, everything is paved.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go easy to the schools for nothing, you have thorns and obstacles the rest of your life. Period. Yeah.
Mm.
And I just on Saturday I talked to a young man who was so easy to the college. College degree, don't know anything, don't get a job. Has to work almost minimum wage.
Yeah.
But has $25,000 the debts in college. So, because like for Europe, school is free. It doesn't cost a penny. Only your books you buy.
Yeah.
And then if you don't make the grades, if you don't be on time, if you don't do your homework and everything, you drop out quick or go in a lower level. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's something I don't think Americans understand when they hear the free education. Is you got to be the top of everything if you're going to graduate and get this free. It's not a...
Yeah, but it's so easy in life, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, so I had to wait till I was 21 to get a driver license. So it was 21 was the age for driver license.
Yeah.
I already had a college degree. I already had a full paycheck. I already had the money, the cash on the side before buying a car when I got my driver's license. Driver's license was a whole month's salary. Even today is like 2,000 euros, 2,500 euros, a driver's license, yeah. But the driver's license is good for life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you get 6 months training, and when you go on the street, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and because of this good training, like my last Mercedes, it was $150 insurance a year. Yeah, this time. Yeah. Well, because you're so trained, you know what you do. You don't never have an accident. So
you don't have to worry about that so much.
Yeah, drinking and driving or destruction, eating in the car or drinking something in the car. It was like, if you want to do something, go out and park, and then you drink and eat your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that very disciplined.
So how much of a culture shock was that for you, like, and your family getting used to America?
No, I love America. I'm an American citizen, and I would never turn anything back.
Yeah.
And I've been told I'm more American citizen as most of the American, because I had to do a test to be an American citizen.
Yeah. We were just born here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess it was more like, did it take you time to adjust to just getting used to the different culture, or?
No, like living in Germany, it is like America is next door. Because there's the English music, there's a lot of things Americanized. In the past World War II, there was the GIs over there for a long time, and we had friends. And then, like in school, English was mandatory in a way. So English, you go up bilingual automatic. And going to America, there was no shock. And it was the opposite. I never got so welcomed in America as like Germany. We didn't get welcome out over here. The moment we came up here, neighbors came and all this, and took care of us, and there were a lot of good things from the neighbors.
There's none of that in Germany?
Oh, no.
No.
There's just a few, so in between a few. And you never know if this is fake.
Yeah. Was there sort of like You were talking about, you being from, what was the time, Czechoslovakia and everything. You received, were there a lot of suspicion with that, with neighbors, do you think? Or was it just the war in
they
general,
probably didn't even know exactly where's Czech Republic. Probably didn't even know. Because in this time, people didn't even know how to ride a bike back in Germany, like in the countryside out there.
Yeah.
Or had a radio, or there was not much. They had like a couple of cows and a few goats and a little acre land, and that's what they lived off. And the husband used to work like in a factory somewhere. So for us, we came actually from a ranch. Like this. This was like a good income source. We have a lot of people working for us, and then we came over there, and everything was like the houses are small, and sure, all the rubble was still there. So when you go now to Germany, everything is really nice and neat, and really beautiful, and everything nice rebuilt.
Yeah.
But then it changed the younger generations. They changed in a way, so because it's not more just Germany by themselves. It's connected with like especially with Europe being united and borders, and so and people move in and out, and so it's totally different when I go over there
than when you first moved. Yeah.
So then I was walking to school, and this man stepped in front of me and said, "Go where you come from." It was an apprentice, my first or second year as an apprentice in the school. And I backed off and I said, "Because you Nazi, I'm here." He backed off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and then I said, "I have no bitterness and nobody."
Yeah. I do have. I have one question, because you mentioned, you were talking about remembering being in the concentration camp and refugee camp. Yeah. So was that something set up by a government, or was that just y'all trying to get away from everything? And
no, as after World War II, May the 5th was the European war over. Mm-hmm. And in August, mid of August, the Eastern Czech, under the command from Russia, they came from house to house with a gun, and they said, "Get out of here."
So it was the Russians using the Eastern Czechs to kick y'all out.
Because the Eastern Czech, they spoke Czech. Mm-hmm. The Western spoke German. There was a language barrier.
Yeah.
And after World War I, it got mixed together. But like the government and the authorities was all in the eastern part. Mm. So, and since we have been annexed to Germany, they put us in the German circle as killers and destroyers and whatever.
Yeah.
And it was kind of revenge to get us out and get our properties.
Yeah. So was it like a miscommunication and they thought y'all were on the German side, or was it just...
You never know if you use it as an excuse, because nobody was actually watching in Europe what's going on after the war end.
Yeah.
There was no government, there was no police force, there was no nothing. Yeah.
So it was just sort of a lawless time.
Lawless time, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then they used opportunity till America woke up and England woke up, and they actually stopped us.
Yeah. When did that start happening?
They started moving people by force under gunpoint. In some areas right after the war ended. And then in August they came to our area. Oops.
No, you're fine.
They come to our area. They came in the evening. They came by and said, tomorrow morning we have to leave for 3 days. We'll make an inventory. But we had people working in the ranch. They were Czech. And my parents treated them like our sons.
Yeah.
They were eating with us in the kitchen, and they were very grateful to be not separated. As in the most ranches, the people who worked there, they had an extra room outside or in the barn or something. It was like a big family, and Stanislaus was his name. He took over as my dad got taken away.
Yeah.
And helped my mom to run the ranch, because you could do anything in the ranch. If it was cloudy, foggy, because the airplane doesn't see you. You could walk in the field, or could harvest something or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was helping, and he told my mom, "Listen, this is going to happen. You have to leave this and never come back. They will tell you stories, but you never come back." And so my mom he was feeding us good thing, and I had probably in today's money like $250,000 and my underwear.
So into your clothes.
Sardine underwear.
Yeah.
All this. And before they come to the Austrian border to kick us over, we had to walk 45 miles to the border under gunpoint. Mm-hmm. They stopped everybody and checked everything and ripped off my shirt and took all this earrings from the women, the golden teeth, whatever I had. With a pair of pliers, they get out the teeth. And the only thing, my mom saved the wedding band. She had it under the bra. Mm-hmm. Was the thing. And all the everything was taken away completely.
Wow.
So
you mentioned the Americans and British stepping in. How long did that take before they kind of got wise to what was happening?
Oh, till this come out, it was months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was months, because Pacific War was still going on.
Yeah.
The concentration over there, and there was no attention what happened here in Europe. And so, and there's actually a lot of private people in Austria, and some of the government they provide a bag of beans, and then they made a bean soup, and you get a slice of bread and a little bean soup. There were like 5 beans in the soup, and
yeah, not much.
So. But as I say, I never get sick. I never get hungry. Yeah, and I always find something on the side. I was eating from the garbage. Yeah, like a potato peel I found, and I took it back home. And there was a stove, because it was cold. It was winter time. It was a stove. I put it on top of the stove and baked it.
Yeah.
No pepper, no salt, no nothing.
Just trying to make it through, huh?
Trying to make it through.
Yeah. Well,
so every day there was like a wagon full dead people carried out from this camp. Yeah.
So who had set up the camp? Was it the Austrians or?
This was a vacant iron ore mine.
So
a lot of like trailers and buildings, and the Austrian provided us.
Yeah.
Because they were overwhelmed with so many people suddenly. And Austria was was actually with Germany.
Yeah.
They did the Anschluss. They were for Germany. That's why Austria didn't get bombed. Didn't have a lot of loss. And then, but there was not much food. That's why when suddenly the thousands of people come, they had a hard time to feed us. And there was no way to go somewhere and find something. It was in the middle in the mountains, the Steiermark. That's up there in elevation, maybe 2,000 feet or some more. Yeah. And then in October it got snowed in. Yeah, snowed in. Yeah, really high, and then nobody could get in and out. Only what they had in store was available.
Yeah. So how long were y'all stuck there?
8 months.
8 months.
From August till April, yeah. 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And then some American found us. They put a lot of effort in to get us food, clothes, and it was just summer clothes, and it was 0 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And then even stuck out the children in school. It was the first English words I learned, and the children. And since then I was connection to America, and I said one day I want to go to America. I want to thank America for saving my life. This was in the back of my head.
Yeah.
We had long-time friends. They are like GIs. They married a German woman, in my neighborhood, and there's a couple that was in my neighborhood. They live outside Tyler, and we visited them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I said, yeah.
So had they moved to back here directly after the war, or?
Yeah, they moved over here probably 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back home because he's an East Texan.
Yeah. Is he?
She's German. Yeah.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive. Yeah.
I may have to interview him. Find out his story. Well, Herman, and I mean.
Yeah.
You have an incredible story. Not many people have heard about. We hear about the heroes and the great battles and everything. I don't think we often hear about the suffering of the people caught in between and everything. And you did a lot in your life. You accomplished a lot. And I just want to thank you for sitting down and giving me this interview.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed listening to the interview, and if you did, go ahead and just like and follow or whatever it is on the platform you're listening to. That just helps me reach more people. Thanks. I saw you just do that. You're pretty neat.